baby.
What is up, you guys? Day 5, and congratulations on still being here. If you are here with bells on and ready to rock and roll, today I think will be pretty motivating for you. So this entire know your worth concept came to me during my workout this past week. This is very, just so you know, we are filming these pretty much in real time. So I can very much see your comments every single day. I see what you guys are struggling with. I'm noting it and I'm going to address them in the future videos. So I've got you on this. Like, I'm so freaking excited about this series. And what happened was I was doing my workout and I was speaking to one of my friends, and she will remain nameless. She knows who she is. And she's just glowing inside out. Like, if I just get an audio text from her or a phone call or a FaceTime, glowing of happiness. That almost contrasting, I would say, like heavily contrasting, and having been her friend for so long from this time last year is staggering. It is jaw-dropping. It was crazy to see her transformation. And she's always been a very happy person, so you otherwise wouldn't have known. But because I know her so well, and it's more so just the contrast to now. Like, I didn't know how, dare I say, bad it was before. But because I can see that heavy, like I said, contrast, that domino effect of all of her things in her life have just lined up, that it's creating this positive spiral domino effect of everything else is just falling into place. I literally have goosebumps because I'm just so proud of her and I'm so happy for her. And I've had that kind of same effect happen in my own life. And when you see somebody like that, it's so obvious that they're just happy. They're confident with the decisions that they've made. With that, the pounds fall off and everything in terms of stress, worry, relationships, it all just kind of works out. And it's very interesting how this can happen. So this is happening to my friend, and that's really what stemmed this entire series, because she clearly woke up one morning and said, you know what? No, I'm not standing for that anymore. I'm not doing that. And it was definitely a hard decision, I'm sure, because I've been through those hard decisions where you have to take a stand for yourself and go, no. And she's a mom of amazing little children. I don't want to say how many because you guys will guess, but she is incredible, like on all fronts. And one thing I will say is she's always put the priority of mom first. But now I feel like she's just shining at that because everything else fell into place. And sometimes you have to just have that moment where you're like, you know what? No, I know my worth. Not doing that might ruffle a few feathers along the way, but it will always lead to a better, brighter you. And for that, a better, brighter, more successful, abundant life of happiness, not just financial. So here's how I want to explain this. So I wrote down some notes. I have notes every single day because I want to make sure that I take you through the actual daily grind process of like the 3 points to make sure that you have something as well as something to take with you. So if you've ever experienced this where you're in a state of flow and things are just going right in life, and it's very interesting how when you can get that first step of momentum, and I don't want to share this with you that you're like, okay, but I mean, it would be really nice to be there, Angie. Thank you so much. My goal for you is that over this 31-day challenge, you do get there. By day 31, you're like, hey, stuff is happening. And that's what I want for you, that you know your worth, you take a stand, and shit starts to happen. We might swear. So I believe that when you can make something happen that you otherwise were afraid of or a little bit nervous of, and you kind of take that stand and you're like, dang, I did that. That's confidence boost right there, right away. Big or small, whether you notice it or not, right away, it's a confidence boost, which then leads to momentum, which then leads to your health going upwards because your stress has gone down. Pounds will start to fall off and you look great and you glow. That's where the glow comes from. It's your internal serotonin level being like, dang right, I did that. And whether you recognize it or not along the way, you do these little small incremental things that help you gain momentum and your body goes, okay, that felt good. And that's where you start to shed the pounds. And I don't know if we take enough time to recognize all of the small factors that do stress us out, but they compound. And can I just say, especially for women, like our mind is going, and it's like scientifically proven we have a lot going on in a 60-second interval or in a 10-second interval, way more than, I will not going to say all, but most dudes. It's just a fact. And like extra shout out to the moms because that's just like a whole other situation. But the stress and all of these tiny little factors and all of these things that are going through our brain stack. Usually it has to do with money, lack of income, or growth of debt and negative. And I really want to focus on that throughout the series to help you really mitigate the stress, like the stress levels. And when you can start to chip away at that stress, that's when everything else starts to roll and you just look amazing. As a kid, young, my mom had this like quote that she had cut out from a magazine one day and she stuck it on her office while my mom worked from home. And like, by the way, I know that my muse for this was my friend, but my mom has been such an inspiration in my life to take no crap from anybody. You know your worth, whether you're the fact that you're a woman, it doesn't matter. And she's always been like that my whole life. Like, yes, I'm a woman. Hear me roar. Like, I've got this. And my mom's a very strong, independent business owner. And I think that's where I was inspired as a kid. But all that to say, owning your own business or life in general can just create stressful moments. And she had this cutout and she stuck it to her wall one day. And I was like, what is that? And she was like, I need to look at it every day. And it said 99.9% of all illnesses are caused by stress. And I never forgot that. Like, I was a kid when she put that on her wall. And it's like a little magazine, like tiny, that only she would be able to see it. And I was like, noted. And it is so true. Like, it is so true that if you aren't feeling your best, you could have maybe had a stressful situation a week prior and it just kind of compounds and adds up. It's always the way, but it is also always the way in the opposite form, that when stuff is rolling and you feel good, you tend to be healthier and you're just happier and you don't attract all of the gunk and the illnesses and the crud to you in every way is what I mean by that. So do you ever notice how really grumpy people tend to catch every single cold that there is ever, especially when they're in that grumpy state? Or maybe it's happened to you. It's happened to me. You're like, what is happening? Yeah, I truly believe that it is stress. Also, why do you think that there is way more like cold and flu season? Do we not think that that's really interesting that it's right around the holidays every single year? It's like right around, think about it. It's right around American Thanksgiving, Christmas, like as you go into obviously the colder seasons too, but it's the most stressful time of the year. 100%. So my point in this is if we can mitigate that stress in the best and healthy way that we can, not ignore it, you can glow up and make bank. So what I've noticed with my friend that I'm talking about, and the big secret to this, she got passionate. She found something that juiced her up like crazy. And because of that, she's lost, I think it's almost like 20 pounds. Her face is like tight and right. She looks great. She's glowing. Like when I FaceTime with her, I'm like, dang, you look happy. That's what I want for you. I want you to be able to know your worth enough to start saying no to certain things that aren't serving you so that you can start saying yes and make space for the things that could potentially serve you. And stop tearing yourself down or saying no to yourself before you've even stepped up to the plate. Like a lot of us, before we even start swinging the bat, we're like, I don't know if I could do that. You can, you will, and you dang should, because life could be a lot brighter and a lot more in focus and exciting when you start to say yes to the stuff that lights you up. So my challenge to you today is to figure out what's been holding you back or stressing you out that you maybe haven't said yes to. What could help you glow up, make bank, help the pounds fall off if you just eliminated that little stress? And it might be something really, really difficult, like your soul-sucking desk job or whatever job you have right now that you just hate. You hate it. And am I telling you to like light the printers on fire and walk out the front door? No. But I am telling you to figure out a game plan that lights your soul on fire and figure that out and freaking fast. And let's start making some baby steps to get there. Cool? So this has been like a lot of love today. Today I definitely call the domino effect, because if you can get that first domino to just go, and it might take a little bit of bravery, man, life could look really good. So what's the thing? What is the things maybe that are holding you back? Share it or write it down in your dream book. Share some gratitude to yourself, future self, letting you know what life looks like a year from now. Because by the way, you got to do that daily. Let yourself know what the future is looking like now that you've let go of said thing or things that were holding you back. Cool? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, dudes.